everyone. Welcome to our second episode of our podcast, ASU Connections. My name is Andrea. I'm the co-program coordinator for ASU. I'm a second-year biochemistry major from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
And I'm Brianna, also known as Bree. I'm a fourth-year physical therapy major, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And I am this year's ASU president.
Yay! Okay. So for our second episode, we're going to be talking about how we both found the Asian American community here at Northeastern and how we got involved with ASU. So Bree, how did you get involved with ASU?
So I was originally an NU and Greece student. I usually don't talk about that much, but I saw that when I was in Greece, I saw that one of my friends from BU was involved in her ASU, and I found out that Northeastern also had one. So during the massive club fair, the club fair, the winter involvement fair, I found ASU. And for all the older individuals out there, if you remember Thomas Contugo,
shout out
to
the oldies if you're listening.
I found ASU. Thomas handed me a pencil. I think it said Northeastern Asian Student Union on it. I still have it. It's like this burgundy pencil. And he asked me if I was an NUN student. And of course I said yes. And then he also did NUN. And then we kind of bonded over that. And then I went to my first GM like a week after. And then Jenny Yan, the fresh rep at the time, hi Jenny, if you're listening to this, came up to me and said hi to me. And yeah, I think that's like my earliest memories of ASU. And then I got very close with Megan. And fast forwarding a little bit, I went to a lot of ASU events. ASU also did Relay for Life that year. It was like 2018, yeah. 2018.
Whoa.
And I stayed the entire 12 hours at Relay for Life. But Megan asked me if I wanted to run for co-program coordinator, and I was not sure about that because, fun story, in 5th grade I tried to run for treasurer of my elementary school and I lost by 1 vote. And then I told myself that I will never run for anything ever again in my entire life. So I was very traumatized about that. And I was like, oh, whatever, it's college, I'll do it. And then I became co-program coordinator. So yeah, those are my earliest memories of ASU.
Whoa, throwback.
Yeah. Before we continue, Andrea, do you want to talk about your experiences?
Sure. Obviously, I have not had as many years as Bree has had, but to be honest, I cannot really remember, like, if I found out about ASU through tabling, but I think my earliest memory was during Light the Night with Barcada, and that was literally like the last day of orientation, I think. And I just remember it being like a little chaotic and everyone just being on stage dancing. And I thought, I was like, wow, this is fun.
We're all about
but for me, I think the start of freshman year was really overwhelming because I was meeting like so many new people and I was trying to go for as many PAAC things as possible, I think. And I started going to Barcada stuff first because I met people at my orientation who like dragged me along. And then through those people, I also ended up at ASU and I remember I went to the first GM and I remember, I think I brought like sushi that I bought from like Market Curry to the GM and I was eating it there. And I remember someone told me, they were like, that's so Asian of you. And I'm like, I didn't have dinner, but I want to be here. And I remember, as always, like the first GM is always the most. It always has the biggest turnout, and there are so many people there in McLeod. Throwback to pre-COVID times. But yeah, and I actually was not as active in ASU like my first semester, I think, and also second semester, I guess. But I started doing ASU dance like I went for a few workshops, but I only really like signed up in the second semester. So that was fun. I like doing Snapchat a lot. Shout out Debbie. I mean, you're probably listening, but that was a really fun dance. And yeah, and I don't know, I really wanted to get more involved in ASU too, because I knew that I wanted to I wanted to like apply to be on eboard, because I wanted to be more involved with like the PAAC community. Um, and I decided on ASU because it was like the umbrella org, and because I'm like from Malaysia, and there isn't really like a Malaysian student like club or anything, obviously. And I mean, like, you just don't really meet that many Malaysians out there. So I thought it was cool that, I could like kind of share my culture by applying to be on ASU eboard. And I also knew like other people on ASU eboard as well. And they like encouraged me to do it. And I specifically applied for co-program coordinator, which we did too during her second year. Also because I really like planning events, and obviously like it's sad that we cannot plan like in-person events because COVID. But I don't know, it's still a good time, and I'm really happy. Like, I think joining ASU eboard or like finding this community has really helped me through like COVID times. Even though everything's online, I feel like we still manage to like, kind of bond and be there for each other anyway. I know that's cheesy, but that's how I feel. So yeah, super thankful for eBoard and like the community.
Yeah, and Andrea mentioned ASU dance. So my first memory with ASU dance, Jasmine actually dragged me to the first ASU dance workshop that I went to in 2018. And also another fun story. In middle school, I was part of this flash mob thing. So it involved dancing, and someone came up to me afterwards and told me that I suck. And
no!
After that, I told myself that I will never dance again. But yeah, Jasmine dragged me to my first dance workshop. And it's funny because coming from Brooklyn, or like just like the New York City school system in general, you know so many people, and then like no matter where you go, you always have a mutual friend. So me and Jasmine had like a bunch of mutual friends, and we already knew each other before coming here. And then I found out that ASU Dance was not like this really prestigious group. Like, they're very welcoming and everyone's very friendly. They don't care like what level of dance you are in. And I think that's very important in helping to foster a community, especially like if people have never danced before, but you still want people to come to your dance events.
Yeah. Speaking of, we have a few ASU dance events coming up on Facebook. So you should check that out. Sorry. Shameless plug here. Okay, Brie, you can continue.
I feel like this entire thing's just going to be talking. But anyways, so that was, yes, and I became co-program coordinator, and which was obviously pre-COVID times. And then going into third year, I thought that I had more to offer. So I ran for a co-vice president. And my co was Caitlin. And then after that, I just feel like being on an e-board, not that being on an e-board is like the end all or be all of your college career.
It's not a personality trait.
Yes, it's not a personality trait. But I just really liked doing things and like being part of a club. So then I ran for president, and that's where I am now. And so this is like the third e-board that I'm part of, and I want to say that like each e-board like that I've been on has like a different dynamic, and I think it's just pretty great to have like this close-knit group of people who can share like the same club struggles as you. Because if you talk to someone else that's on like another club or just like another one, like group of your friends, they might not understand where you're coming from. And I think that for this year, even though it's COVID, our eboard has had some good times.
Yeah, we've had so many good times. I think that's the thing that I really was not expecting at all about this year. I don't know, because especially when COVID hit, I feel like everyone was just so disappointed and people were pretty cynical about this year. Like I remember everyone being like, yeah, we're gonna get kicked out before Halloween. And I didn't really have, I mean, obviously I applied for eboard like in April, I think. So that was before I kind of knew like what would happen in September. And I didn't really have like high expectations going in. But I don't know, like for some reason, even despite like COVID and everything, things have still been good with like in terms of, I don't know, the people on eboard. And I feel like that's also kind of due to like the people that ASU attracts. I don't know, like when people talk about PAAC clubs, everyone says like each club has a certain vibe. Like, do you agree? Or like
yeah,
what?
I do agree. I feel like, well, I've never been on any other PAAC board, so I can't speak for them. But being on ASU board and just chilling during like GMs and stuff, I feel like I learned something new every time.
Yeah, or you meet different people every time.
Yeah, and going to this year as like president of an org during COVID, and we didn't really get a lot of direction on what we could and couldn't do, especially like Andrew said, it was April, and we didn't know what was going to go on September. I think that the way that things turned out was better than I expected, especially in like the fall semester. Like for our first GM, we had like over 100 people attend, which is kind of scary.
We did have over 100 people attend.
Because usually we would be meeting in person, and we would have to book like a pretty large classroom. Usually it would be like McLeod and Curry, if anyone knows of that space. But yeah, just imagining 100 people in a room right now is not something that I could imagine anymore.
Oh my god, actually that is so true. I don't think I could imagine 100 people in a room. Yeah. That's like 4 times off Massachusetts guidelines.
Yes, please do not go to large gatherings, especially indoors.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully things get better in the future. And I want to say, like, with PAAC in general, and more specifically, like, by ASU eBoard, I feel like you start off obviously not knowing the people that you're with, but then as, like, the year goes on or, like, the semester goes on, you, like, get to know more about them and, like, things that you have in common. Like, Andrew and I follow each other on Spotify. And we would have been very good friends if we knew each other in the past.
Yeah, we would have been besties.
And this is now our One Direction portion.
Yeah.
Our favorite portion.
Actually, oh my goodness, that is so true though, because I feel like I knew most of you, but I didn't like know most of you. I think the only person that I was really like good friends with was Brendan. Hey Brendan.
He'll probably be editing this.
Yeah, and he'll be like Pog. But actually, yeah, I didn't really know all of you like all that well. Actually, like I have like talked to you before, and I like went to events with you guys and stuff, and I would see you guys there. But I definitely like didn't really know.
We knew each other in passing.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically. And we had mutual friends.
Yeah, and I feel like at the time, like I really did not expect to become as close to all of you as we are now. And I don't know, like to be honest, I was low-key a little bit intimidated of like everyone on the eboard before, like when I was joining, especially like all the past e-boarders with experience. Oh my god. Okay. I know I was intimidated of Anthony. Sorry, Anthony, if you're listening. I've never told you this before, but yeah, I was like, oh my god, like I don't know how to talk to him. Now I'm like, Anthony. LA.
our best treasurer.
Yeah, our best treasurer. But yeah, and it's just something that, okay, also this is like so cheesy, but yeah, it's like really made my second year like so much better despite COVID times. And I don't know, whoever's listening, I hope like ASU has, managed to be something like that for you too, despite COVID times.
Yeah, we see like a lot of people that show up to our GMs, and it really means a lot when people like stick around or just like hang out with us afterwards, because in a normal year after a GM, like people would stick around in the classroom and like someone brings up a plan like, oh, like, do you want to go get food? Did you get like dinner yet? And some people will say no, and then they end up like hang out even more and like getting food after that.
Yeah. Or the classic, let's go get kung fu tea.
Yeah, or that. And yeah, I think it's just something really special that like made my college career. I mean, I still have one more year, but I don't know how like my college career would have played out if I didn't join ASU, because like now looking back at it, I've been involved in it for so long.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah,
on eboard.
Yeah.
Let's go, Bree.
So yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to add.
What do you think like attracted you to like the community, or I don't know, like why didn't you like find other people that weren't in PAAC? Like why specifically ASU?
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
I think again, like a part of it had to like, it relates to people coming up to me and starting conversations. I think that's very meaningful, and I think that's something that I tried to carry on as best as I could on a virtual platform this semester or this year. Like people would come up to me and ask me more about me, like way beyond like, oh, what's your name and what's your major and where you're from. Like those are like very surface level questions. And like even last year in eboard, we encourage each other to like, if you can meet one person at like one GM, at each GM, like that already means a lot to like that person. I know it did for me when like Jenny came up to me in freshman year. And yeah, it's just very meaningful to have people come up to you like that, especially if you're alone. Like I showed up to the GM alone and I didn't know anyone, so I was like, wow, like new people and more friends, because I feel like everyone can relate to that, like especially if you're a freshman, like trying to like meet new people in college. Also, especially if you came out from like NU and like you literally, like I don't know about everyone else, but I know that I wanted to meet more people outside of that small bubble. And yeah.
I think I agree. I feel like that's something that's really good about ASU, because we get new people coming in and out all the time, but it really doesn't matter if you come like at the start or if you come in the middle, because you're not gonna be like the only one that's new, and there's always going to be like, I don't know, just like I said, people coming in and out. But even if you're like new or whatever, someone's always really willing to like reach out and talk to you. And because we're so big, I feel like we're also like, it's like a big family, and you don't really get the feeling that it's like kind of cliquey, because again, like we're so big. And I don't know, I just really like the idea of, always being able to like meet new people. And I know like even now the freshmen in ASU, like you would think that they wouldn't be able to meet anyone, but I know that like they hang out pretty often. Which makes us super happy because it's nice to see like ASU forming these connections.
Yeah. That's the name of our podcast. But I also forgot to mention this. ASU Minis, which is like ASU's mentoring program, also helped me a lot. Because, well, like coming in freshman year, there was like a form to sign up for it, and I did. I didn't know what I was signing up for. It just asked me a bunch of questions about me, what I'm interested in, my hobbies, and like I forgot what the form said, but it's like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I met my minis fam. So shout out to Mirai, Jojo, Shun, Abby, and Aya. We are Massage Bee. For all the old people out there, the new like freshmen probably don't know us, but it is okay. Did I mention everyone? I think I did. Yeah. I was like, wait, misogyny is 6 letters, and like I mentioned 5, but I didn't count me. So, but yeah,
you're the B.
Yeah, I'm the B. But yeah, ASU Minis is also a great community. I think the forum has closed when this podcast comes out.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
Sign up next time.
Yeah,
next semester. Yeah, actually, I agree. My ASU Minis head was Chris and Abby. Well, we are related. But yeah, and I was already close to Chris before he became my mini head, and he's like my big 2-time. Shout out Chris if you're listening. But yeah, I guess also one thing about ASU is I feel like the upperclassmen are always so willing to help like freshmen. Like right now, like there's a ASU co-op sheet, so put your information there if you haven't. But yeah, and if any freshmen are listening, which I hope you guys are, like never ever like feel nervous or like scared or whatever of like reaching out to upperclassmen to ask about like literally anything, like whether it's like classes, co-op, or even just to like hang out, because I feel like upperclassmen are always like so willing to help freshmen, and I really felt like that my freshman year. So that's something that I don't know. I was like really thankful for like to have like the community for. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and like also as an upperclassman now, like I'm a physical therapy major, which no longer exists. For undergraduates.
Oh,
and
what?
Like,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
What?
And I like wish that I had someone to like talk about PT with, because there aren't a lot of us out there. I mean, in my graduating class, like there's like 60 of us. So yeah, please reach out to your upperclassmen, because I'm like they're more than willing to talk to you about like anything, even if they don't show up to GMs. Like, I feel like a lot of upperclassmen like feel weird because like we don't know anyone that's like younger, and most of our friends have already graduated. Like our friends that we would used to go to ASU GMs with all graduated, and yeah. Please reach out to us.
Yeah, we need friends. I'm also growing old. I'm gonna be a 30-year soon. Oh my god, I'm aging.
So, yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode of ASU Connections.
Yeah, or me and Bree rambling about our life and experiences.
We hope that this was helpful in one way or another.
Yeah, we hope you like listening to our stories and our experiences. And you know, I'm a biochem major, so reach out if anyone needs help on classes or whatever, or even just to hang out. Like I'm always down to, you know, get to know new people and stuff like that.
And yeah, we don't know when the next episode will be released, but stay tuned on our socials, especially Facebook at Northeastern University Asian Student Union.
Yeah, and follow us on Instagram at nu.asu.
And yeah, we hope you have a good day.
Yeah, thank you for listening.